Good morning, Internet. Good morning. It is Eric Arnold here again in the Sports Barn. It is, what is it? It's Tuesday. Tuesday at about 2:15 in the morning. They're going to have to start putting some more hours in these days, I guess, because I'm just running out of time to do what I want to do here. But I did want to get you a video. Slate of college basketball coming up tomorrow. Some pretty good games. Wanted to at least throw some opinions on the board. Well, you know what happened to a recap here, whole business. Well, the championship game. Congratulations, LSU. Let me say something nice about LSU, I guess. At least you're not Alabama. So there. No, I mean, LSU, I don't have anything terrible to say about them. I mean, good for them. That was a great team they had. I would like to hear the breakdown of how exactly our quarterback, Joe Burrow, former Ohio State Buckeye, ended up down there. That somehow J.T. Barrett, I guess in the mind of Urban Meyer, was better than Joe Burrow. I'd like more information on that one, how that all came about. But hey, good for Burrow, good for LSU. Clemson, too bad. Had some calls go against you. Hate that for you. You were going to lose anyway. So we probably would have lost too. So good job, LSU. What else is going on? It's getting colder here in the Sports Barn, so I put my Larry the Lumberjack quilted shirt back on, and it's not too bad out here. So old business. Let's see what we had. Loser there. That's why I didn't put a star there, because I just forgot. You forget things early in the morning. That was a 1-star game. If I could have had a half a star, it would have been that. Well, we'll put it down at 1 star. Jackson State, loser. They lost 56-50. Apparently the Southern kids maybe aren't LSU fans after all. And then North Carolina A&T managed to win and beat Delaware State 98-77. So that puts our record at exactly 13-13. I'm going to look at this as the glass is half full. The games I'm getting killed on are these ones that I'm just feel obligated to pick, like the NFL playoffs and the championship game, where basically I'm just taking a scientific wild-ass guess at these things. The ones that I'm using my model on, we're doing a little better on those. So we're almost out of swag games, and that'll hopefully just leave college basketball games, the great games that everybody cares about, like North Carolina A&T. So that's what we had there. I definitely want to talk about this baseball scandal, but I haven't had a minute to even read. I know that these guys got suspended and the discipline's been handed down, but I haven't heard the details. I haven't been able to read comments. I want to read it all before I offer up an opinion, as if that'll somehow make my opinion more relevant or better. But at any rate, it's early in the morning, and I think I'm just going to take my time, and if that upsets subscriber X, who demands this thing be done in 15 minutes, there's a button or a scroll thing on those videos, I've seen it, where you can just jump ahead when you want to, so you could do that. I'm not saying do that, I'm just saying one could do that. Well, let's see what we got here. College basketball for Tuesday, the 14th. Believe it or not, we actually have some games here that are going to be on TV. The first one's not on TV. We're going back to the MAC. Central Michigan getting 8.5 points from Toledo. Central Michigan 9-7. Toledo 9-7. Ken Pomeroy says they're 190. Toledo's 110. Getting 8.5 points. Well, that should tell you where I'm going right there. Central Michigan for 2 stars. Why? I think basically we're just kind of looking at this as how different are these teams. I am a big proponent of the Bill Parcells theory. You are what your record says you are. So 9-7, 9-7, and they're both in the MAC. Bill Parcells would say these teams are the same. Um, we'll find out, but I think 8.5 points is just too many. So we're going to take Central Michigan. One of the things I was wanted to say and forgot. So that's one of the things that about making these videos. You have thoughts in your head and you have a chronological order of what you want to say them in, and then you forget, and then you think of 5 minutes later, oh, I forgot to say that. Well, I'm just going to throw it in there. One of the things I'm encouraged about, again, is that this loser here, Jackson State, I was in the right place again. I mean, that thing, we had it at 1.5 overnight, and that thing went off at Jackson State was a 1.5 point favorite. So that's a 3-point swing, and we were on the right side of it. I was describing that, trying to get my wife to grasp that concept today. I think she got it. I said basically, it's like, well, you went to Lowe's and they had a gazebo on sale, or it wasn't on sale. It was just there, and it was $500. So you bought it, and then everybody else heard that they had gazebos for sale, and they went rushing in there to buy them. And Lowe's said, wow, look at all these people that want to buy gazebos. And they marked the price up to $750. Well, then you feel like a genius because you got your gazebo at $500 while those other suckers paid $750. Of course, what's happening is my gazebo just keeps falling down and losing, so it really doesn't matter what price you paid. But anyway, so I still feel good about getting these games like that. I think sooner or later that's going to pay off. But all right, number next. Let's get to some games that actually matter. Louisville, 13-3, number 9 according to Ken Pomeroy. They're 4.5 point favorites at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh 11-5 and 75. Pittsburgh played Louisville just earlier this season out at Louisville, and Louisville kicked their ass. So now coming back to Pitt, and Pitt's home, and they're getting points. Well, I don't care. I'm taking Louisville. 20, 30 years ago, I would have been all over Pitt, and I would have bet a lot of money on it. My way of thinking is kind of turned around on this. I think the value is with Louisville. They're just better. They're just better than Pitt. They have, I think, just a class advantage over Pitt. They won. I mean, the game in December wasn't close. It was, I'm guessing, 18 points, give or take. But also, Louisville has a coaching advantage. Chris Mack, coach at Louisville, another one of these fantastic coaches that you've never heard of. He did such a great job at Xavier all those years. And Pitt is coached, I think, by Jeff Capel. I'm not a great fan of the Krzyzewski tree, all the Krzyzewski assistants that end up floating around the NCAA. I don't know any of them have a real great record. Somebody will probably look that up and tell me they do, but I don't know. But I like Chris Mack. I like Louisville. Lay the points, 2 stars. There you have it. Sadly, that game's on that goddamn ACC network, which I don't get. I asked the cable company about that, and they just said, well, no. I mean, they said, you can go to this link on our website and send us an email. I thought to myself, okay. I mean, should I do that before or after I send like my email to the president telling him that I don't like my taxes, I think they're too high, or should, would that do as well? Yeah, I noted the president was at the game, the championship game tonight, and I was trying to think why. Why is he there? All I could think of was the dude wants a good optic, and he knows that's Trump country, so he'll get a decent reception there, and people won't boo him. They booed him when he went to the World Series game in Washington, D.C., because those are all Democrats in Washington. But he goes to the championship game there in New Orleans, he's going to get cheered. So I figured that's what he was looking for. Number next, Missouri, 4-point underdogs. Missouri 9-6. Pomeroy ranking 54 against Mississippi State 9-6, 60. See, look, this is back to that Central Michigan game. These two teams have identical records, and this point spread's only 4, not 8.5. So, Central Michigan. Anyway, Missouri, Mississippi State. Man, I'm telling you, my little model, everything, and I mean everything except one thing says Missouri on this game. Missouri just had a really nice win over Florida. Efficient, hit a lot of shots, hit a lot of threes. Nice win. Mississippi State just had a come from ahead last second loss at LSU. They were up like 7 or 8 with a few minutes to go and somehow managed to lose by a point. So I'm thinking that's got to deflate these guys. That's got to just kind of and I don't know they're going to get up for Missouri. I don't know that's any kind of rival or anything. The only thing I don't like is I think Mississippi State's coach is better than Missouri's coach. I think that's Ben Howland. Missouri has Conzo Martin. I'd make it a 3-star game, I swear, if I had the coaching edge. But we're going to go Missouri. I'm curious to see what happens here because I kind of have a theory that you never want to have the short end of a coaching matchup unless you're getting a shitload of points. And my definition of a shitload is more than 4. So we'll see what happens there. I mean, I'm going to be real unhappy with Conzo Martin if we don't get this game. But Missouri should get that one. So we'll see. Kansas. Ever heard of them? They're 12-3. Pomeroy thinks they're the second best team in the country. 6-point favorites at Oklahoma. Oklahoma 11-4, 48 ranking. This is another one where you got your home dog going there. I'm just kind of throwing this one up there for fun. This is a 1-star game. I'm probably just sticking this one in here to give me an odd number of games. Definitely we're going to go with Kansas. A 1-star for that one. This is almost entirely just me saying Kansas generally bounces off of losses pretty well. They had a loss at home, no less. I mean, they never lose at home. If you hear Bob Huggins tell it, that's because the referees cheat. I don't know that one way or the other. Talk to me about Clemson and Ohio State, I'll say something else. But no, I'm sorry I said that. Clemson earned that win 100%. They're better than we are. And so back to Kansas. I'm going to say they're going to bounce off that loss to Baylor. I don't think Oklahoma is all it used to be. I don't know that's someplace you need to be scared of. I don't even think that's going to be a sellout. I think Kansas is going to go in there. I think these power mega teams, when they go into the arena and they see empty seats, I almost think they're encouraged. I'm going to try to avoid situations where my team is the road team and it's in a packed arena and everybody's screaming for blood and they're intimidating the refs. I want to avoid that. But I don't think that's going to happen here. I just don't think, well, I know that people in Oklahoma don't give a damn about their basketball team. My step-grandson and stepson, if you will, they live in Oklahoma. I go down there a couple times a year to visit, and they don't care about sports, at all. It's pretty much college football, and that's that. Basketball? No. They just, when does college football start again? High school football, that too. College basketball, not so much. So I like Kansas here, all 1 star. Whoopee. And lastly, the TV, that's on TV. I think the SEC network, which I get. Go figure. I get the SEC network, but not the ACC network. The closest SEC school to where I live would be, I don't know. I'd have to give I don't know, South Carolina? Kentucky, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, ACC network we don't get. SEC network we do get. Kansas, I think that, I don't know, that's got to be on some channel. That seems like something ESPN would have somewhere. This last game, San Diego State, this is on ESPN too. San Diego State, undefeated, 17-0, 12 ranking in the Pomeroy rankings, which I almost question that a little bit, being the Parcells-ite that I am. Hey, these guys are undefeated. Who the hell is ranked? I mean, Pomeroy's got guys that got 2 and 3 and 4 losses probably ahead of these guys. So I question that a little bit. -6.5, Fresno State, home team, 5-11, 133. Well, this would be another area where years ago I'd be all over Fresno State. They played San Diego State at their place in December, and San Diego State won, not that convincingly. I think they won by 9. And now San Diego's coming into Fresno. I see San Diego State here. I just think they're better. They're better than Fresno State. Seth Davis, I believe, I don't know if he still works at CBS. He's a college basketball guy. He wrote a piece for The Athletic. He was singing the praises of San Diego State, that he's very impressed with them, thinks that they're better than they appear to be. It's like, well, shit, they're undefeated. How much better could they be? So I get what he's saying. I mean, what if these guys are like Gonzaga? What if they're that good? If they're that good, if that said Gonzaga there instead of San Diego State, that number would be 10. It'd be more than 10. So at 6.5, you might be getting a deal here if these guys are really, really good. That's what we like there, no doubt. I'm trying to think. I thought I had another point there. I don't know. That's basically the gist of that. So let's make sure to put the stars there. Sometimes I forget. 2 stars. So we got some games on TV tomorrow. Looking forward to that. I gotta get this handicapping done sooner in the day, so I'm not out here in the middle of the night. But all right, well, I'm going to bed. I don't know what you're doing. I guess you're just getting up when you're watching this. So we have to recap, Mr. Subscriber X. Central Michigan, 2 stars. Louisville, 2 stars. Missouri, I didn't put the stars on that. See, I fucked that up. 2 stars for Missouri. Just short of 3 stars on that one, but 2 stars for Missouri. 1 star for Kansas. And 2 stars for the undefeated San Diego State Aztecs. All right, very good. We're 500. Could be worse. We're hoping to make it better. Let's go. Let's get in a rhythm. Let's do this. All right, from me to you, good morning.